Everybody, guess what? No rate cuts in 2025. That's basically what Powell was floating yesterday. The idea that we would not do rate cuts in 2025. That's not what the market expects, right? Check it out. He was very adamant about stagflation, which is stagnation in the economy, and inflation ripping back. And seemed to be a unanimous concern about this across the FOMC. Well, anybody remember this chart? I drew this, what, 2 years ago, over 2 years ago, that we would possibly go sideways for a while and then go up to new highs. Possibly. It's a very interesting situation, I feel like. Powell thinking we have stagflation. The only tool that the Fed has to combat inflation is interest rates. I mean, they could say whatever else they want. We're at a potential zone where we could do a measured bounce on interest rates. And I think I'm one of the only people, harping on the fact that we could see this pop right up here, 5%, right back to the highs, probably pull back, and then get another move up. Now, it may, I drew this up all the way up here in an exaggerated sense. It may not go that high. It may just come up in here, but I think we're probably going to see higher interest rates. I think Powell's kind of signaling that might be what he's thinking. And supposedly all this rally we've had in the market is on cutting rates back down, right? I mean, we're going to cut rates. Now, they cut rates right in here. They did this because the liquidity in the market was low. And not just the market, in the economy. The liquidity in banks in the economy is low. Now we're even lower on liquidity. Now, this fixed it for a while, but now we've run that ship out. They've emptied out the reverse repo facility, and we've now got a situation where one little card in this house of cards could take the whole dang thing down. And I'm concerned. I think you should be too, probably. I don't usually tell anybody what to do, but you should be concerned about what might come next. I've not been wrong about how the market was going to go since last summer. I never know roundabouts way how we're getting there. Usually I predict the destination. The path is the hard thing to try to foresee. I think we're setting up for this bigger correction. Now, whether we start it this year or we start it next year, I'm not exactly sure. I don't think we got an all clear yesterday by any means. Very, very concerned here. Very concerned. I'm going to save this right now. So before we talk trades, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation intended to be informational, educational, fun, and entertaining, not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instrument, including stocks, options, bonds, forex, futures, cryptos, treasuries. And if you desire somebody to just tell you what to do, you're going to have to go hire and consult somebody that has that ability. That's not what I do at all. I don't tell you what to trade. I don't even suggest. I point out some opportunities, but if anybody played that 30 VIX and got off, nice job. I know at least one person got a nice 4-figure profit. I'm still riding mine out to June. If you don't have any, well, maybe an opportunity to pick some more up at a cheaper price. Trump speaking, 10 o'clock. Unemployment claims are out. Came in light. Everything's good, right? Employment's good. No reason to cut rates. Employment numbers are good. They keep baking those numbers. CEOs are concerned we're having a recession. GDP came in negative and then it snapped right back positive. I mean, everything's going great, right? Everything's going great. I got another one. And I'm sure that there's a few people out here that are going to want this article. Check this out. And ignore all the ads and stuff. California gas prices could rise 70. We're just talking about California here. Now, why? This is back to what I was talking about. And this is by the University of Southern California, right here, USC. Check it out. Check it out. This is the kind of stuff I was talking about. We have two Phillips 66 refineries in Los Angeles represent 8% of the state's oil refining capacity, are slated to close by the end of 2025. 8%. And Valero has also announced it's going to shut down the refinery in San Francisco Bay, which accounts for 9% of the capacity. That's 17% of the refining capacity that California currently has. And based on current demand, consumption, state regulations, other factors, refinery closures could result in 21% drop in refining capacity through April of 2026. 1 year from, less than 1 year from now. 21%. This is the thing I was talking about. These are good, hard numbers from a university right here, research project. Potential gasoline deficit ranging from 6 to 13 million gallons a day. A deficit. That's a shortage. What does that do to prices? Supply and demand. Same demand, lower supply, prices go up. This won't just affect California, because where does this gasoline come from? The rest of the country. Higher prices for everybody, not just California. This is a problem. And it's only going to get bigger because this is not just a California problem. This is a nationwide problem on gas prices. This is what I've been talking about. We are closing refineries at an alarming rate, and we're not putting any back because of environmental regulations. It's going to be a problem. We're already seeing it. The chart already says there's a problem. This can take us right up in here. Very quickly. Bum, ba, bum. So, got to be careful. Believe in the narrative. Drill, baby, drill. Cheaper prices. But drill, baby, drill is not the problem. Refine, baby, refine is the problem. We need those refineries. This is set to go higher. You look at heating oils responding to less demand in trucking. Right here. We're down at the lows. We have lower we could potentially go on heating oil, which is diesel fuel. Another distillate. But gasoline has potential to break out to new highs. This could all happen at the same time. We see diesel fuel flushing and we see gasoline popping because we don't have that refinery capacity and we're short on gasoline. And all of a sudden, all those crazy mandates for everybody to sell EVs are being removed by Congress. So this is it's gonna be an interesting one to play out right here. Interesting one to play out. So S&P, how you make money on that? Play gasoline. Play. I mean, you can buy spreads on gasoline. You can sell spreads on gasoline. Buy spreads on diesel. You can play crack. Refiners ETF. It's like crack, trading crack. There's some other ones. There's not a lot of actual ETFs for the refiners for the products. VLO, closing facilities. Look at that. We're right down in where I thought we might go. That could be a bottom. We could see this pop out of here. So there's all sorts of ways to do it. I don't have a way that I don't necessarily have to make money on things. I can make money on the fallout that goes outside of that little realm. It's just one of those to be careful. If you don't know there's a problem in energy, you might bet on it doing something else. So I feel like it's my job to point out the problems. The opportunities usually present themselves when the time is right for me. So S5TW, stocks above their 20-day. We pulled back a little bit, but we may see this ramp up again today with the pop in the potential pop in the S&P here. But we're going to get it's going up. I mean, we know it's going up. Now, the problem yesterday, we completed what pretty much looks like 5 down in a leading diagonal fashion here. Then we did a swift retrace, but as I said on the FOMC live stream yesterday for channel members, I think we were going to get a deep retrace, possibly to an 88.6, which is not even a fib I usually keep on here. Let's see. Yeah, I don't even have it on. Let's turn this on. Gotta put the decimal in there. There we go. Let's make that, make it orange. And there we go. So you may see this rally all the way back up here. That level, possible we poke out. This is fitting with this right now. So watch out for us to top in this area. That's what we call a leading diagonal. Swift retrace, continuation lower. We did not get any kind of all clear yesterday. Be careful, cautious, permacautious. That's name of the game here. So I'm gonna turn that back off because it's gonna annoy me. There we go. Market open. And we're ticking right at the top of that super danger zone right there. Right in there. Now, we possibly could. There is a way to potentially count this as 1, 2, 3 into the lows. And this be the 4. And we needed one more little 5 right up in this area. Possibly near the top of at that ideal 5720 I talked about earlier. Maybe it was last week. Then we start down. So was this the one down of the A or one of one or one of A? Or will this be the one of one or one of A? That's the unclear part right now. I am very cautious here. I've lightened up my load. This is a dangerous potential pattern. I mentioned yesterday during that live stream that we would likely see a deep retrace, and this counts as a deep, fast retrace. Yes. Same sort of situation. Deep, fast retrace. Already turning back down. Watch for this to start breaking down below levels. We're sitting on the 5-minute right now. If we start breaking below the 5, below the 15, below the 30, it's an indication that this high is the high, and we're gonna leave it there. So there's your levels. We're right at the 5-minute, the 15 below us, and then the 30 down here, and then the 1 hour, and that's what to watch out for. It's called the danger zone for a reason, all right? In Q had a more bullish pattern, but we still haven't broken out the new highs. We just double topped at this point. This may squeak a higher high. Set up the 4 or 5 before we roll. Russell, much lower high at this point. Still expect this one to go lower. That's looks like a very clear 3-wave retrace. That's a 3 down, 3 up. All corrective junk. Probably going to get a flush down lower. Oil. Pop back up, look at the daily charts. We're just hovering. Still expect oil to do another dip down to the low 50s. Gold retracing off. Like I said, big picture. Probably heading down here on the next move. Then we'll do this, back up in here, and then we'll work on the bigger flush out down to the roadmap line. It's probably got that's probably the path for oil, or for gold, through the summer. Something like that. Bitcoin popping. Be careful. Not pushing through 105. 105 all the way up here. The top of top of this box up here. I guess 104. 104, 105. Not getting up through that. Still sets us up for nice fat retrace. This has been one big swift move up. Kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Real rough like. I think we're in the final throes of this move before we get a deeper retrace. Need that one. Off that low, the first move up was about like that. We could see this rally right up here, hit that line, and then work on a 3-wave retrace before we can break on out. Putting the 5 waves in place is reassuring to me, but we may still see a deeper move back down. Right in this vicinity before we get the next big pop. Ethereum, just right in the slog here. Be very, very careful. We're coming up to test the trend line. If we can break out, that'd be great. I'd love to see this pop up here, hit the roadmap line, retrace like this. I'm not convinced though. Be very, very careful. Still has potential to drop out down here. NKD pushing back up for another test. Still has the setup. Nothing, no all clear, unfortunately. That's dollar still riding that uptrend of lows. Yeah. Mag 7s. Apple still has potential to go down. Amazon might be setting up for a rally here. We might. Still think we could get a retrace before we pop. Clearing up, clearing this 212 area sets us up for new highs, possibly 250. Apple just isn't looking very strong at this moment. Google has this nice big retrace. Really like that. It's got a 1-2-1-2 kind of setup. Nice potential to break on out. We've got this major resistance above us. Meta pushing on up. Once we clear the 650 area, 782, Microsoft. And all of these could retrace, like, very likely to retrace with the market. Microsoft, retrace, pop on through. It's getting really, we're grinding on that resistance. I would expect this to do that. NVIDIA in the zone of ambiguity. Dangerous. Deep retrace, very possible here. And Tesla's still grinding on the roadmap line. If we could poke through, we could quickly see this do this. If we don't break through, we could do this. That's the two kind of paths. All right, so I brought my I have 5 setups that fired off last night. Met the criteria at the close yesterday for potential entry. Let's take a look at them really quickly. This one, big downtrend. Not a big fan of that, even though it fired off right here. That high, this low right there. 24 trades, 75%. Net loser. 67% in. My bigger chart analysis has a further downside. Even though it's a triple bottom, I would be very careful. I mean, it doesn't negate that popping up and doing this, but I wouldn't get involved in that one. CRAI. Here's the high, here's the low. Yeah, my Discord tool found that high. And this finds this high up here. 222 upside. Could be a good one, but I would be very careful here. Not a statistical population yet. Harmony, Bioscience. That's a biotech. It's off my list automatically for me. That high, that low. Fired off, 37.26 target. OPHC. Had the high right there, the low right there. Kicking it off, 36.30 at the target. Not the strongest numbers. Then Trimble. Use a lot of Trimble equipment. Make surveying equipment. GPS equipment. And the bigger move there didn't fire off. This move right here did fire off. Looking for a 75 target. Not bad, but it is a net loser there. So nothing great on the setups for today. Now, I also run a tool that pulls a list of gainers, things moving $2 or more up in the pre-market, pops it on the list. That one's hitting the target, pretty sure. We also pull everything moving down $2 or more. Yeah, see that right there, target, boom. Boom goes the dynamite. That was the entry. There's the target. Golly. Amazing stuff. I love how this thing just works and works. That was a little rich for me. I don't like to play things that can't buy 100 shares of. I don't have that kind of capital resource at this point. RGC. That one's just going crazy. Likely to come back down. I mean, that's the bubble pattern all day long right there. Going exponential. Have this nasty habit of coming back and then taking it back. Be careful. I don't play these for a reason. Crazy move, retrace. Crazier move, probably going to get a crazy retrace. Yeah. I don't know what miracle drug miracle announcement they made, but be careful chasing that one. App loving. Yeah, nice potential pop. Came up shy in the downside targets. Got resistance right up here at 400. Earnings came out on Wednesday. Let's check on our old buddy. I had a trade on Crocs. Yeah, nice little pop. I sold the puts down here. Hitting the roadmap line. Watch for a retrace now. This can easily come back to the bottom. I'll be out of the way. Not going after it again. Let's see, what else did we have? Oh, I have my earnings list we can look at. So Thursday we had Peloton, Shopify, ConocoPhillips. We had these over here. Dutch Brothers, DoorDash, Axion, Cliffs. After the close today, we got Trade Desk, Coinbase, Marathon. I say Mara Holdings, Merkle Libre, Cloudflare, SoundHound. So let's take a look at some of these. See, we had AppLovin. We just had that one up. Yeah. Carvana. Ah, nice. We're going on up to 312 probably. ARM. Yeah, I was a little bearish on that one. Not really performing. Cleveland Cliffs. Back down into the target zone. Axon. Yeah, that's probably going on up to 747. DoorDash. Yeah, coming back to the roadmap line. Bros. That could potentially bounce off the roadmap line again. Resistance right up here at 72. Oxy was expecting that to go on down. Well, we're just hovering at the bottom, really. This could go on down to 20. Be careful. And then Piton this morning. Yeah, that looked. Peloton might go out of business. That's a 5 down. Not looking great. Shopify. Apparently not great numbers. Missed. Well, that was basically in line. That's basically in line. So just basically in line on those numbers. Shopify. ConocoPhillips. Still expect lower on that one. That's 8. And no real move there. Cron. Still a downtrend. Be careful. WBD. There's potential that this is bottoming out right here. I want to see this pop above the roadmap line to get the upside potential out of this one. And then Crocs was on the list, and LNG. I have some LNG. Look for that to go up to 267 up there. It's a pretty nice one. All right, after the close today, we got TTD. That's bearish still. Coinbase, still bearish. Mora, still bearish. Melly. And we saw that one hitting the target. Did that report earnings? Not loading anything. Cool. Yeah, it already reported Wednesday night. So Earnings Whisper got that one wrong. And let's see, Cloudflare tonight. Still left some downside. We're below the major. This fib line doesn't look like that 618 doesn't look like it's in the right place. It would look a lot better if it was down like this. which would push this further down here into this further zone. So watch out for a bigger downside on Cloudflare. Let's see, SoundHound, SUM. That was the bubble pattern I was talking about a minute ago. Not great. DKNG. And they opened the door to going a little lower here, potentially down in this 25 area. And Affirm. Stuck at the roadmap line. That did a 618 bounce. This could be set for a much bigger move. We could be looking for something like 200 on Affirm. We have 4x upside. That's not going to happen like instantly. Wolf Speed. Still got 100 shares of this, but looks like we're going lower low. I think that one's dead. And INOD. That's a bubble pattern. Would not surprise me to come back down in this area. Would not surprise me to come back down there eventually. And then before the open tomorrow, TeraWolf, that looks pretty bad. EMB, Enbridge. I've made some pretty good money off of this one in the past. It just looks choppy there. Not sure we're going to make any kind of extension. Telios. Yeah, very low priced. PAR. Stuck the roadmap line. Yeah, go. It's like internet on the airplanes, right? Yeah, it looks pretty dead there. I don't know. That was a big bubbly pattern coming, bringing it back. Potentially at a place where we can bottom out the bubble pattern and start working on the next move. But so when you look at this, we make the bottom, kind of go through a dull period, and then we start on the next rally. All right, let's go find some opportunity. Let's see if there's any opportunities in here. Hello, Dave. I hope that hit the target already. Watch for that to get a retrace. Sezzle. That one's got some upside. And a bubble pattern. Big retrace. I would have expected it to come on down just a little bit, but hey, popping on up. 86.93 on the upside. This one pushing deeper into the zone here. Really want to see that clear that zone. We could still get a deep retrace out of here before we can pop on through. Speaking of MSTR, let me pull this up. Let me see here. Hold on just a minute. I got to find it. There we go. Check this thing out. This is an interesting site. MicroStrategy, #1 holder of Bitcoin as far as public. These are public companies, not. This is a list of corporations and some government entities that hold Bitcoin, either directly or through custodians. MicroStrategy right there. It's interesting. Their Bitcoin balance. Right there. Their average cost, 68,000. Profit, 44% at this point. Share price is 405. Market cap, 111 billion. Enterprise value, 116 billion. The Bitcoin to market cap. Bitcoin value to their market cap. 49% of their market cap is backed by the Bitcoin. I find that interesting. Going back, looking at it, you can see right here, 49% market cap. Now, number 2 holder, Mara Holdings. Got 48,000 Bitcoins. They've got they've mined the majority of those Bitcoins. They bought some of them, but basically it's all profit. So their market cap is $4.9 billion. That their Bitcoin is 100%. So that company has no extrinsic value at all, right there. Basically, their Bitcoin is the value. That's crazy to me, right there, to think about that. Their Bitcoin balance, 4.8 billion. Essentially, they're just the value of their Bitcoin. So if they do the bond writing thing, they said they were going to do the bond writing thing just like MicroStrategy. It'd be an interesting proposition here for Mara. And it's not even considering the value of their equipment and stuff like that. That's, I guess, discounted to 0. Kind of interesting. This is bitcointreasuries.net if you were interested. Our old buddy Tesla here. They've got $1 billion in Bitcoin. Paid $33,000. So they've got almost 200% profit in their Bitcoin right there. Their Bitcoin represents 0.1% of their market cap. So pennies. Insignificant amount. Just a nice investment right there. Make 200%. It's worth $1 billion. Nice play. Anyway, moving on. ASML. Bearish. EPAM. Pop the chat back up now. Hey, sunny Alabama. Glad it's sunny down in Alabama, Charlie. It is not sunny here. I haven't even seen the sun in days, it feels like. Right, there's resistance on EPAM. Carvana, we already said it's going on out. Target now. Oh, this one's setting it up for a move up to 1,300 right there. Roots. Potential to go down. Be careful. Coinbase, we already talked about. G Veranova. What the heck? This has the setup to go up to 46. Tapestry. A tapestry maker is a tapicker. If this closes up here today, we activate the upside potential 96.60. Spotify. Cruising on up 683. Goldman Sachs. Grind in the danger zone. Shark Ninja. Still love my creamy. It's like the craziest freaking thing. You can just like, I tell you, I took sliced strawberries, put it in one of those containers with, sugared sliced strawberries, fresh sliced strawberries. I sliced them myself. Sugared them a little bit, put half a can of sweet condensed milk in with it. Made 2 of these, so I split the can between 2 of them. So it's 3/4, maybe even 80, 85% strawberries. A little bit of sweet condensed milk. Nothing else in there. Put that in the creamy. Oh my gosh, it was the best tasting strawberry dessert. I don't think you call it ice cream because there was no cream in it, but best tasting ice cream ever as far as strawberry ice cream goes. And did that with frozen sliced peaches we bought from the grocery store, like just in the freezer section. Put peaches in there, put just a tad of tad bit of sugar, tad bit of water to kind of make it into the same sort of thing as the sliced strawberries. Half can sweet condensed milk. And Kimberly's like, that's the best peach ice cream I've ever had. And I tried it again with half a can of canned peaches. Did it, broke the can into two, put some put some of those frozen peaches in there too, and then topped it off with half can of sweet condensed milk. And I like that one better, stronger peach flavor. But Kimberly said it wasn't as good to her as the fresh frozen peaches. Can't wait till July when we actually have peaches on the tree, on the ripe peaches. I got like 9 gazillion peaches that are about the size of a marble. On see, we got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think we have 12 peach trees. Way more than we're ever going to be able to eat. That's for sure. ETHU. Nice little pop. It's got a long way to go if we're going to come back. It could do it, but it's got a long way to go. IONX. QQQ. I did get into this yesterday through this proxy. Looking for this to go on up. 60s. That'd be a pretty nice one. So HIMS is the underlying here. We're looking for this to pop on up to here, which at the point, at this time, that represented 73% upside. Take that to the 2x leverage, 73 times 2. That gets you to 146%. So just looking for 100% on, that's conservative, when you look at the HIMS right here, just going for 100% gain, pretty conservative. We could, 146 could be possible. Puts up to like 80. I may hold on. I don't know. Be pretty sweet to book it out at like 66. I basically doubled what I got in for. We'll see if it plays out. We'll see. Let's look at some of the decliners here. Lily. Still chopping. Probably gonna hunt. Probably gonna go back for a retest of the bottom. That a dog. Coming up. Resistance to the roadmap line. FTNT. Back to the roadmap line. Let's see. ABBV. Holding the uptrend of lows, but doesn't look like. Not respecting the roadmap line. That's usually a first sign of danger right there. Molson Coors getting whacked a little bit. See what Bud's doing. Bud's about to break out. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 attempts to get through. If we bust through, upside's probably up here at the 80, 90 area. Cart. Maple Bear. Not really showing any kind of enthusiasm for doing anything here. Rejecting off of that 618. But it did have a giant gap down zone right there. So it's, anybody that's been with me for a little while knows my theory on gaps. Take at least 2 attempts, if not 3 attempts to break through. There's Valero. There was Valero throwing up on the 30-minute bounce. There. 30-minute chart. There's the high. There's the low. Upside. Not bad. 121 upside. YBTC. Planet. Oh, nice bounce here. Got a bigger upside potential on Planet off of this. So this did a big measured bounce set up here. this low, this high, right in the zone. Measured bounce puts it right up here. Beautiful upside potential. You looks like we're gonna crush it on down. Let's see, anything else to look at? Reddit. Still expect downside. There's the support. If we break through it, we're going down to new lows. Baba sitting at that 618. If we bounce off of this and break down, highly likely we're coming down here in the 70 to 80 zone. Snow. Come on, breakout. I didn't add anything. I've got my one share and my long calls out to 2026. It may just break out and go. Be a beautiful setup right there. Potential bottom that we've been tracking. Got a nice deep retrace, but that sets us up for this pop right here. If on this move we get all the way up here, it's going to be bullish long term. Right there. And nothing. All right, bias for the day. Let's check it out. Let's see what we got cooking here. So all that stuff I said earlier at the beginning. Resistance right here. If we break out the new highs, target's right up here, and then back into the correction. So right now I kind of expect this to top out in this area, break down below these roadmap lines and cruise on down. I wouldn't really expect this to play out before like the end of the month, probably. I think this is a 1-2. We can see a 3-4-5, then a bounce, and it takes on down here. Probably through beginning early, it's gonna be everybody's gonna be like, well, it's selling May, go away. Seasonality wise, we usually see this pull back, so this will be a potential through June right there. I mean, you can make anything you want, David. You just throw it in there. So I'm not like vanilla is my favorite, and then strawberry, and peach, and blueberry, and I made all those, and they're all freaking delicious. So, let's see. Don't have the seasonality chart up. Cool. Before I disappear for today, let's pull up the seasonality charts. Here's what we're cooking with right here. When we could top out and get a bigger pullback. Typically this time of the year is choppy. I wouldn't expect any big breakout till later in the summer. And that could take us right up into the high. And that could be it. Right there. Seasonality wise, everything kind of lines up. So watch out for the bigger pullback here into June. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning. I'll be back same bad time, same bad channel tomorrow morning, 9:15. do it all over again. Hunt for stuff. Hunt for the red opportunities. And have a great day.